On the southernmost edge of the Indian subcontinent, Lord Rama stands alone, looking out over the water. Between him and his wife Sita lies an expanse of violent, churning ocean. The waves pounding against the shore form a natural, seemingly impenetrable barrier. Looking at a map, the true scale of the problem becomes clear. The island of Lanka sits isolated from the mainland. This stretch of water is wide, deep, chaotic, and swept by intense currents. A conventional naval crossing is unfeasible. Even looking at these coastal waters today, the distance to the horizon feels absolute. The ocean dominates the landscape. Reaching Lanka requires overcoming the geography itself. It demands a solution that physically rewrites the boundary between land and sea. What follows is a mythological visualization. We are exploring the events as they are described in the epic Ramayana, imagining the sheer scale of the endeavor rather than breaking down a strictly historical engineering process. Behind Rama, the isolation of the shoreline disappears. The beaches are packed with the Vanara army, gathering by the hundreds of thousands. This endless stretch of sand serves as their staging ground. It is the boundary line where their march has been forced to a halt. Their resolve to cross the water is absolute. The challenge now is organizing that sheer collective devotion to physically bridge the ocean. The first logistical hurdle is material. Building a land bridge requires millions of massive stones, which means stripping boulders from the surrounding mountains, forests, and riverbanks. Managing this level of resource extraction requires specialized leadership. Nala and Nila, the divine architects of the Vanara army, step in to direct the effort. They take an immense, restless military force and restructure it into a disciplined, highly organized engineering corps. Countless workers fan out across the landscape. They lift massive weights, navigating treacherous terrain to carry these raw materials back to the shoreline. The physical strength of the workforce is matched by their flawless organization. They form a continuous, unbroken supply chain, driven entirely by their dedication to the cause. At the water's edge, the first heavy boulders are pushed over the drop-off. These massive, rough-hewn stones sink into the churning water, settling directly onto the sandy seabed to form the crucial foundation. From there, the pace accelerates. More stones arrive at the shoreline in a rapid, endless rhythm. Thousands of workers line the shallows, passing heavy rocks hand to hand in perfect synchronization, moving the material further out. The stones stack higher until they break the surface. A solid pathway begins to emerge above the waterline, pushing outward from the beach. Through this relentless, rhythmic repetition, the army forces a path into existence, laying thousands of tons of rock into the sea. The labor continues for days. Golden sunrises give way to dramatic, fading sunsets, but the work never stops. The newly formed bridge holds its ground against shifting weather patterns. It absorbs torrential rains and deflects the violent, crashing waves of the deep ocean. With every passing hour, the structure extends. It stretches out from the coast, drawing a long, continuous line toward the distant horizon. The accumulated stones form a permanent causeway. They physically override the natural boundary of the sea. Pulling back high above the clouds, the true magnitude of the construction finally comes into focus. A continuous pathway now connects the two landmasses. The water has been split by a solid, unbroken line. Sunlight breaks through the cloud cover, illuminating the immense length of the completed Ram Setu. From this altitude, the geographic isolation of Lanka is gone. The barrier has been shattered by collective will. Back at the entrance on the Indian shoreline, the army stands at the foot of their creation. Lord Rama, Lakshmana, and Hanuman look out over the stones. The uncrossable divide has been bridged. A clear road now lies ahead, stretching over the deep waters directly into enemy territory. The Ram Setu stands as a physical testament to absolute unity. It proves that unwavering devotion can mobilize thousands to conquer the impossible.